Jungkook rejects Justin Bieber's collab offer. The real reason is shocking the entire INDOSTRYY with Jungkook, BTS's global phenomenon, soloist, and cultural icon, refuse a collaboration offer from Justin Bieber, one of the biggest names in global pop music. The very thought sent tremors across the music industry. When the possibility of a duet between these two titans first emerged, fans anticipated a historic moment in global pop. Yet what happened next was something no one saw coming. Jungkook said no. And not just no, but no without hesitation. What could be powerful enough to make one of K-pop's biggest stars turn down what seemed to be a guaranteed global hit? Sources close to the matter revealed that the conversation between Jungkook's team and Bieber's camp had progressed significantly. Track drafts were exchanged, schedules were considered, and even visuals were discussed. But despite the mounting excitement, Jungkook suddenly pulled the brakes. It wasn't a scheduling conflict. It wasn't about musical differences. According to insiders, it was something far more personal and political. The offer to collaborate arrived at a critical juncture. Jungkook had just emerged from a long and emotionally intense solo project, fighting to define his voice beyond BTS. He had stated in multiple interviews that artistic autonomy was his top priority, an autonomy he had fought for relentlessly. For Jungkook, post-BTS projects weren't just music. They were declarations of self-liberation. A collaboration with Justin Bieber, while commercially tempting, threatened to dilute that narrative. Yet the real storm was brewing behind closed doors. Industry insiders have pointed to a growing discomfort within Jungkook's inner circle about the direction of his international branding, especially when it comes to Western collaborations. While many Korean artists see working with American icons as a ticket to global legitimacy, Jungkook reportedly felt the opposite. He viewed such collaborations as potentially overshadowing his own identity, turning him into a feature rather than a force. Privately, Jungkook has voiced concerns about being perceived merely as a K-pop figure among Western artists, rather than a standalone global act. This identity struggle has haunted many non-Western artists trying to break into the US market without being tokenized. Jungkook, according to close sources, was determined not to be the next name on that list. But there was another layer, one that made this decision even more combustible. Rumors emerged suggesting that the offer from Bieber wasn't as innocent or artistically motivated as it seemed. Several music executives alleged that the collaboration was heavily pushed by a group of international investors who had financial stakes in the success of both artists. This was not just music, it was business at its most aggressive, and Jungkook reportedly despised that. In one internal discussion, a member of Jungkook's team allegedly described the collaboration push as a corporate arrangement masked as creative freedom. That phrase quickly spread like wildfire in industry circles. The implication was chilling. Jungkook wasn't being asked to collaborate. He was being used. And he knew it. The emotional toll on Jungkook reportedly reached its peak in a private meeting with his creative advisors, where he expressed frustration about being trapped between two impossible choices: appeasing international stakeholders or preserving his authenticity. That meeting, sources say, ended with him standing up and stating firmly, "I don't need this. Not like this." This moment, while never caught on camera or confirmed publicly, has become a kind of legend within his label, a pivotal declaration that Jungkook would no longer compromise just to meet global expectations. If true, it marked a seismic shift in how he intends to move forward as a soloist. But what does this mean for his relationship with the Western music industry? Several experts believe this decision will not isolate Jungkook, but rather elevate him. In a world where artists are often seen bending to market pressures, Jungkook's resistance stands out. It's bold, it's risky, and it's undeniably him. What's even more unsettling is that Justin Bieber himself was reportedly surprised and, according to one anonymous producer, not pleased. Bieber had allegedly already mentioned the project in internal marketing circles. His team had begun informal outreach to streaming platforms and even briefed a handful of fashion sponsors. Pulling the plug this late was a slap to the machinery behind Bieber's next big chapter. And Jungkook didn't blink. Now, fans are left questioning what kind of pressure Jungkook has been under and how many more offers like this he has turned down silently. Could this be the first public glimpse of a deeper conflict between Jungkook and the forces trying to shape his career? More questions emerge. Is Jungkook building a silent resistance against the global music industry's manipulation? Was this decision truly about identity? Or was there an even deeper betrayal beneath the surface? Why did his team stay quiet despite the media whirlwind? And how does this affect Jungkook's path forward? Will this decision mark him as defiant, or inspire a new generation of artists to fight for integrity over fame? At the heart of this moment lies a question that haunts not just Jungkook, but all global artists trying to navigate a world of invisible contracts and silent expectations. Is it possible to win and still be yourself? As of now, neither Jungkook nor Justin Bieber has commented on the issue. No official statement has been released, but silence in this case may say more than words ever could. Behind the glossy images, behind the stadium tours and Spotify banners, lies a very real, very human battle for control. This isn't just about one collaboration. It's about ownership of music, of identity, of narrative. Jungkook's rejection of Bieber is not the end of a story. It's the beginning of a much larger one. The Jungkook x Justin Bieber controversy. Fact or fiction? A call for critical reflection as the storm surrounding Jungkook's alleged rejection of a collaboration with Justin Bieber continues to ripple through the global music ecosystem. One truth remains unshakable. The public has been left in a state of confusion, uncertainty, and emotional volatility. Was this truly an act of defiance by Jungkook to preserve artistic purity? Or was it a media-driven illusion, constructed to manufacture tension, provoke reactions, and manipulate public perception? This controversy, while captivating, brings forth an even greater challenge: discerning truth from spectacle in an era dominated by fast-paced, user-generated content and algorithmically amplified narratives. The reports of Jungkook rejecting Bieber's offer originated not from formal statements or verified press conferences, but from viral social media snippets, unconfirmed industry whispers, and speculative YouTube commentaries. Should such sources be treated as truth? Or are they merely reflections of our collective desire for drama? In light of this, we must ask, are we witnessing a genuine act of resistance from Jungkook against the Western-centric music industry? Or are we unknowingly consuming a fabricated narrative designed to elevate engagement metrics? Could it be that the entire story is a strategic move by entertainment networks and digital platforms to capture attention, trigger virality, and benefit from the resulting polarization? Consider this. Within hours of the rumor breaking, the topic trended on Twitter, flooded TikTok feeds, and inspired countless reaction videos on YouTube, none of which were grounded in official verification. The virality of the claim itself raises a disturbing possibility. Was the emotional reaction of millions based on an engineered narrative? And if so, who truly benefits from that emotional manipulation? Jungkook's image, clean, bold, and increasingly self-directed, makes him an ideal protagonist in a tale of rebellion against corporate control. But does the simplicity of this narrative make it too convenient? Is the world too eager to believe that Jungkook is a lone warrior rejecting Western dominance, when in fact, the reality may be far more nuanced or even non-existent? Some users on social platforms have gone further, suggesting that this supposed rejection never happened at all, that it was crafted to position Jungkook as a symbol of anti-mainstream heroism, thereby solidifying his solo brand. Could such an interpretation be plausible? Or is it an overreach rooted in growing public cynicism? And let us not forget the possibility of a reverse-engineered PR cycle. What if the rumor was seeded not to harm, but to lay the groundwork for a surprise collaboration in the future? In today's media climate, where anticipation often supersedes the art itself, would it really be that far-fetched to consider this entire scenario as a calculated marketing test? We are now in an age where the lines between journalism, fandom culture, and social media storytelling have blurred. Information circulates without oversight. Emotions are triggered in real time. Screenshots and half-translated interviews often become the foundation for global speculation. In such a climate, is it still possible to distinguish real resistance from manufactured drama? This is not just about Jungkook or Justin Bieber anymore. This is a mirror reflecting how we consume, believe, and respond to the information we're fed. Are you comfortable knowing that your emotional investment in this issue may be grounded in unverifiable claims? Does the thrill of the controversy blind us to the potential manipulation underlying its presentation? And most importantly, have we become so addicted to scandal that we are willing to forego truth entirely, as long as the story keeps us engaged? The burden now falls on each of us. As consumers of modern media, we must interrogate our reactions. We must question the motives behind every viral moment. Was this narrative organically born from a real event within Jungkook's career, or was it shaped, intentionally or unintentionally, by the content-hungry engines of the digital age? Every tweet, every video edit, every clickbait thumbnail adds another layer to the illusion. How many of us pause to consider whether any of the so-called sources behind the story were credible? Did we, even for a moment, hesitate before allowing our emotions to dictate our judgment? It is no longer enough to ask what happened. We must now ask, why was this said to have happened? Who gains from us believing it? What truths are being hidden beneath the noise of speculation? To every fan reading this, to every ARMY member and every music lover who finds themselves caught in the turbulence of this headline, pause, reflect, ask yourselves, is this truly the story of Jungkook standing against the pressures of Western pop culture? Or is it a well-designed illusion playing into what we want to believe? Do you believe Jungkook actually rejected Justin Bieber's offer? Or do you feel this is a manufactured twist meant to stoke division and debate? Could this be an intentional strategy to create distance between Eastern and Western musical ideologies? Or perhaps an attempt to raise Jungkook's artistic credibility through the image of calculated refusal? There is power in asking these questions. At this point, no one has produced hard evidence. No official correspondence between the two artists has surfaced. No behind-the-scenes documentation has been verified. What we have is a collage of fragments, from TikTok montages to speculative Twitter threads, from loosely translated video clips to ambiguous insider tips from unnamed sources on YouTube. And yet, these fragments have shaped an entire narrative. If this does not disturb you, it should. We urge every reader to think critically. Let this serve not only as a discussion about Jungkook's possible artistic decisions, but also as a reflection of our collective role in shaping media discourse. Are we feeding into an attention economy that thrives on ambiguity and outrage? Or are we capable of applying restraint, analysis, and deeper inquiry before declaring what is true? As the dust settles and the platforms shift their focus to the next viral sensation, one truth remains. It is no longer enough to be a passive consumer. We must become active participants in the construction of truth. We must examine, deconstruct, and, when necessary, resist the narratives forced upon us.